So guys, Spice Bag Co are back. We've been building our food truck brand now for over 9 months and it has been a wild ride, so much so that we forgot to post on YouTube. So let's look back on what the last 9 months have looked like. So our first month with the trailer was all renovation. If you look back on our last videos that we did post, that was the renovation period. Which meant we had more time to post because we weren't trading as well. Then we had our launch party at the Star Inn in High Littleton, where we had all our friends and family, lots of locals, lots of people who had been following us from the start come down and try our spice bags for the first time. So it was a great day. We had a photographer come down to document the whole day, which was really good to get some pictures done. Yeah, I think we sold out in the end, which was amazing. We did about 120 spice bags for our first ever day out. So it's a bit hectic, but super enjoyable. And we had one of our friends, Laura, help us for the day, who actually has now become one of our regular staff members, which is super good. After that, we did some tweakings of what we thought needed to be changed and what we could make better. But actually most things worked really well from like our experience on yachts and my experience as a chef. We kind of planned the whole layout and it worked quite well with what we're used to working in small environments. Yeah, so that was our first month or two, and then we got into Wiper & True, the barrel store, which turned into being quite a regular spot for us, at least 4 times a month, maybe more in some months for the whole summer. Loved working with those guys down there, with Fia, Alfred, all of them down at the barrel store and at Wiper & True. So we got lots of regulars coming down to Wiper & True, really started to create quite a little community down there of followers, started to get a lot of takeaway customers coming down. A lot of Irish customers, which is great, obviously, being the Irish spice bag. And then, what else did we get up to? Then we started to do a bit more driving around to other pubs and breweries, some private events, some corporate stuff. The corporate stuff is always really good because they pay up front, you know exactly how many people you're going to be selling to. Yeah, so you're in and out in 2 hours. Perfect. Those are really good ones for the weekdays for sure. We then joined Bristol Eats, the food truck agency, where we started to get more bookings, like lunchtime bookings, more like bigger events at like Prospect and Document. So we did events like Kneecap, Flatboy Slim, Party 101, loads of really cool events. Kneecap obviously was brilliant with all the Irish crowd. So we'll be hopefully doing lots more at Prospect in the coming year. And then we had a few at Document, which are both big venues that hold like 2,000 to 4,000 people for music, like day parties in the summer. Yeah, really cool place, which we really enjoyed being at. Something a bit different from working at just pubs and breweries. We then, in October, had a bit of a crazy time. We went to do Western Beach Race on Weston-super-Mare, like a big motocross race, and the weather was absolutely awful. So the second day got cancelled, loads of people didn't turn up, and the build up to the event was, with it being our first 3-day event, it meant that we had to really set like the groundworks for it, which we didn't have the setup for it yet. So the weeks leading up were super busy, like exhausting, prepping all the food, making sure our signs were all okay, making sure our menus were right, building, like having to get pallets and stuff to put all our fridges and freezers in outside the back because we had to take so much more stock. Yeah, and then we ended up only trading properly for 1 day and we made a huge loss on that event. We just about covered our pitch fee, which was £3,000. So going forward, we'll definitely think twice about bigger events and make sure there's a clause in there that if the weather means the event's cancelled, we get our money back, because we didn't get anything back for that and it was not good. We were still recovering from it a while afterwards. But luckily, we learnt a lot from that. And going forward, we won't make the same mistakes. The lead up to Christmas was pretty cool. So we did more with Wiper and True. We did loads more stuff at Prospect. We did a new place near Bath, CV Distilleries, which was super cool. We're going to be doing some more with them in the new year. Throughout the whole summer, we've worked with some amazing people. The whole street food community is so supportive. We've had, which has surprised us, so many of our mates have wanted to work for us, because I think it's maybe just slightly different from their office jobs. They're a bit more interesting, maybe. So yeah, it's been super fun having our friends come and work with us. And we also did a Kenting pop-up shop. So the business we had before this with a ski, skate and surf clothing brand, which sadly we shut down in 2022 due to COVID, Brexit. It was just, we kind of lost the love for it, couldn't get it back off the ground really because of not being able to go back to the ski resorts to sell all the clothes. So yeah, we did a little real cheap pop-up shop to get rid of the last bits of stock at Wiper and True alongside Spice Bag, which was super fun to do both of the businesses together. Some of the things that surprised us along the last 9 months, one of them being the weather. We thought that being in England that the rain would have stopped a lot of people coming out to get the food or cancelled events, which obviously it did for one of the days at Weston-super-Mare. But the rain didn't stop anyone coming out when we were at Wiper and True. We still did great days, great nights, which was amazing. So thanks everyone who came down to support us on that. But what was real shock was the hot weather. When it was super hot, it meant that people didn't want fried food. So we were less busy, which we were very surprised about. But actually makes sense because I don't really want to eat fried food when it's that sort of heat. If you want to trade at places like Twickenham or Cheltenham Racecourse or any of the football stadiums or any of the big events really, you have to go through agencies, which we never thought that was the case. So you have to go through agencies like Freeman's. They're kind of the main ones, Freeman's event partners. And also signing up to do festivals. You kind of have to start signing up in November to February to get for the summer. So we're still waiting to find out on festivals, but hopefully we're going to be at a few in the Bristol area. When you do any events or are at big locations, so for example, Prospect, they take 20% of your takings. They don't take a pitch fee, so they do a percentage, but 20% is a hell of a lot. So we were due to maybe do Twickenham, and that was going to be 30% of our takings, plus the costs of electricity to be there, the privilege of using their card readers, because you can't use your own, because they want the money to go through their accounts and then they pay you. So yeah, it's a massive expense with all the other costs that you get in the food industry to then go to these bigger events and have to give that much of your takings. It's kind of crazy, but the footfall is huge. So if you can afford to get there and you can push out a huge amount of food in a short amount of time, you'll 100% make loads of money. But right now, our food truck is probably not big enough for the really big events, but it's definitely something that we want to get into once we get a food truck that is a lot bigger, so we can push out 3 times the amount that we can do already. At the moment, we can push out when we've got the A team in, we can push out a spice bag every 40 seconds, which is pretty wild if you ask me. Another thing which in hindsight shouldn't have surprised us but did, we used to bank with Revolut Business, and we had 1,200 euros get taken out of our bank account with fraudulent activity, and we were unable to get it back. So top tip for anyone starting a business or anyone just thinking about using Revolut or an online banking, like app only bank account, really look at their like terms and conditions of how they operate, because with Revolut you had no support on that front. So if you're starting if you're starting a business, I highly recommend using someone like Barclays or Lloyds who have a bricks and mortar, who you can ring up and speak to someone on the phone. Revolut, you can't speak to anybody at all. So that was a surprising thing and a harsh realization with the fact that we lost money out of that. So we started doing a first customer gets a free spice bag, and then I filmed the reaction, post them on social media, and the views would be over 100,000 most times. So that was another thing that went super well, the whole content side of it. So yeah, highly recommend buying the Meta glasses if you are doing a food truck or some sort of business which you deal with customers, because they're a super fun way to create content and communicate with all the customers. So that's been going well. Excited to do loads more content, got loads of exciting ideas, plus YouTube. So yeah, it's all going well. Me and Andy haven't killed each other yet, working together in the business, so that's a good thing. Had super fun working with our mates, getting to know the different locations and the people working at different breweries. Had loads of food reviewers down, and good reviews came out of them as well, so that's good news. Been featured in a few articles. We're going to start doing some collaborations in the new year, maybe some like Hot Honey vibes, collaborate with a local artist to get some cool t-shirts made and hoodies made to sell to you guys. So all in all, it's going really well. It's hard work, but we love it and can't wait for the year to come. What you can expect from these videos going forward. The plan is to post one video a month, probably the last Sunday of each month or the last weekend of each month. It'll be like a vlog style thing, lots of behind the scenes, lots of tips, tricks, all the good, the bad, the ugly, everything. We're going to put on here in a more long form content for you guys to enjoy alongside our more short form content on TikTok and Instagram. Andy will feature in the other videos. He is currently actually at the pub working. He's gone to try and get us some more bookings from other places for St. Patrick's Day. So fingers crossed. We've got lots of fun stuff planned for that. So yeah, cheers guys, and remember hit that subscribe button.